My name is Melissa C. Potter, Hollywood executive, a mom. I wear a lot of hats, but my deep and dark secret is that I am someone that knows nothing about love. You're the hottest in the room. I just turned 40 and I made a decision that I'm gonna jump all the way into the dating pool. So we are going to go on a journey together as I share tales from the outside, from dating and DMs to self-exploration and quiet time too. I so often hear about so many Black women that are 30 plus and not married.
Big dog, riding the wet like on Rick Ross.
I will be having conversations with some of my friends. You may know some of them quite well. You get to sleep with me.
Oh my God.
About their own life's journey, finding love, and we're gonna have some shenanigans and good times while we're at it too. Am I now a cougar? So this is Tales from the Outside. Well, we are here with a gentleman that I've had a crush on since I was probably 15 years old.
Wait on
So I get to experience you, Mr. Tay Diggs, in real time as a guest on Tales from the Outside. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very...
Absolutely.
That was lame.
I know.
Just one tiny one.
Woo! So, Tay, I am now over the age of 35, though I don't look it, right?
Well,
Right?
I'm just kidding.
Right? You supposed,
Absolutely.
that's a quick fire
I'm trying to
question.
joke around. No, you
Damn.
Look good. You look good.
So we are talking about just as a woman of color, what it looks like to explore dating, love, sex, relationships, the other side of being outside in this podcast. And you are someone who publicly has lived outside. We know quite a few of your experiences, whether it's on the cover of Us Weekly, the Shade Room, or your own social media. So my first question for you is, what has the last 525,600 minutes of your love life been like? You like that, right?
It was. It took me half a second. You started saying numbers, and I thought there was math. I hate math. Well, that's a year, right?
That is a year. What has the last year? I can tell you what I saw about your year.
Okay. How is it? It's been very eye-opening. Eye-opening. When I was younger, like pre-marriage and through my marriage, I thought I knew it all. I thought I had picked a way to live. I had a couple of examples, and I was like, "Oh, this is what you do. This is how you find a girl. This is how you keep a girl. I wanted to be this kind of husband." And then while I was married, I was watching other people like me in the industry and how they were moving throughout their marriages, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like that works." And then I got divorced, and then everything switched because as a Capricorn, I thought, there are rules, follow the rules, and you can't mess up. And my identity was connected to, abiding by those rules.
What were the rules? What were the top three?
It was all different sets. So I grew up very religious at first. When I had a divorce, all of the rules went out the window because I was like, oh, this isn't working, and that was the most unsettled I've been. So I didn't feel like I had an identity.
Right.
And that was, and even ever since then, it's been me putting the pieces back together on my own terms. So instead of using a set of rules that, were thrust upon me, through experience, which is so cool, I've created not even rules, but my own identity, and it's coming from my own experiences. So as a young person, I used to always not understand how older people could say, "Oh, these are the best years of my life."
Right.
I was like, "You're wrinkly, your body's busting down. Like, how are these? Your 20s are the." But now I get it because there's a certain type of secureness.
You know who you are.
Getting to know, and there are less disappointments because whatever happens, as opposed to, oh, I didn't follow this rule, and then feeling guilty. I mean, I still struggle with that, but but I know that I don't have to.
Yeah.
There's no heaven or hell, so I don't have to worry about where I'm going. I'm old enough and lived long enough where I don't really care what people think.
Yeah.
You know, my career's going well. I got a kid, love him, he's cool. So now it's more about just being experimental, you know, kind of following my feelings.
Experimental,
Yeah.
right? Because at our age,
Yes.
there are a lot of non-traditional ways about going through relationships,
Yeah.
marriages, examining things in new ways versus the expectations that you talk about. When I was in my 20s,
Right.
it was a prescribed time.
Right.
When I'm 30, I need to be engaged.
Yes.
By the time I'm 31,
Right.
I need to be married. We are going to be 100% faithful. We're going to go to bed watching 2020 at 10 p.m. And now I have friends in open marriages. Now I have friends that don't need a ring at all, but it's the most faithful, monogamous relationship ever. What does it look like now to not really care about what the world thinks and to live truthfully in your own relationship experiences?
I don't. I'm right there. I don't know. I feel lucky in that. You know, it's like whatever is going on in my relationship, any new steps I'm taking in a relationship, you know, I feel like the world has set it up where I'm forced to take new steps other places as well. You know, something exactly, you know, so different from what I expected. Even just being divorced and I'm co-parenting a child.
Yeah, me
I had
too.
no idea I was going to do that. So it forces me to be open.
Yeah.
Now, when that happened, I was like, okay, it's gonna be, everything has to be exactly fair, and if she's got him these amount, and then that wasn't working. You know what I mean? And it wasn't working because I didn't want my son to have to feel that. So that forced me to open up and just be cool.
Yeah.
So if I'm just being cool, whatever happens, happens, and I'm trusting that everything will kind of even its way out, and it has. You know what I mean? So
Is
right
being
now,
cool, being friends, because that's what I'm trying to figure out now.
I was gonna say yes, but then I don't hold my friendship with my ex-wife in the same light as if my friend that I call my best friend. It's a certain type of friends. See, for me, it's not putting a definition on a thing.
Got it.
She's a certain type of friend. You know what I mean? And I'm forced to accept her no matter what, because if I don't, then it causes distress, you know, and then Walker senses it.
Is she the type of friend that you can talk about your relationship with and vice versa?
In a jokey way.
Okay.
In a jokey way, but just in general, because I'm an oversharer sometimes, so I just gotta watch myself, like right now. But with her, I just gotta watch myself because I don't want to share so much with her. Where if I'm struggling, I'm worrying about if she's using. She would never use anything against me, but just me knowing that she knows might make me uncomfortable. So I pick and choose. You know, there are a lot of things I wish I could have changed about me in. You know, when I think about our past relationship, I'm not trying to make up for lost time, but I'm keeping that in mind. So I give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And, exactly. Try to keep things, say things that will have a positive effect on her.
Makes
You know
sense.
what I mean?
Makes sense. Like, my daughter's turning 5, so she's a baby to me. And guys are saying, "Can I meet her?" And I'm like, "No, we
Right.
need to put in some time." So for you with Walker, at what point or stage were you comfortable introducing him to folks you were intimate
Oh
with?
man, it was a trip because I've had 1, 2, 3, serious relationships since I was married. And the first one, he was so young. I was blessed because he was so young. You know, I didn't realize at the time I was just being stupid, and I just wanted to rush into. I thought the sooner the better. You know, the first real relationship after my divorce, I was like, oh, this is it. Wow, this is easy, perfect. She has 2 kids, I have a kid, and they're all around the same age. And so that's something I'm learning. First time I rushed into it because the excuse was, let's let the kids get together. The quicker we get them together, the quicker we'll know if it works.
Right.
All right. The second one after the first, I waited a while, and my son was old enough where I could kind of talk to him, and it was on his timetable.
Okay.
The third one, we waited a year. We were like, she had been through enough, I had been through enough, and we just made a rule. And we're like, no matter what, we can't hurt ourselves by waiting. You know what I mean? And this time around, I don't know.
Yeah, and he's older now.
He's older now too. So I mean, and I'm single, so I have no idea what the future holds.
Does he give you advice when it comes to?
I ask, yes.
What is
He
what is the
takes
TikTok
care of me.
Generation advice?
Well, I don't know, because he's special. He's touched. You know what I mean? Like spiritually, he's constantly reminding me of what I need to be reminded to see the other side. You know what I mean? So he's been on point. I just decided that maybe I would go a little bit younger with dating.
How young?
I don't know yet, because my
you're in
son
your
right
early
out the
50s,
box.
though.
Oh, you don't think I know?
Just saying, I'm 40.
You don't think I know my own age?
The people need to know.
Okay. Do they though?
Because we have to know what the pendulum swing is. Are
I
we
said
going
younger.
young hottie 21?
I mean, here's my thing. I'm going against my own intuition as well.
Okay.
My son is like, no. Look, he wants me to be like nobody below 35.
Okay. Which is
And that
young.
Yes, it is. It makes sense. Like, he's on point. It makes sense. But, I don't want to, because I grew up so rigid. I want to be open and see, and at least see what happens. You know what I mean? But I think he's right at the end of the day. It's got to be a pretty special 25-year-old
But I think
or
your
whatever.
considerations are different. Like for me, at my age, and the things I've been able to acquire on my own, being a career woman.
Yes.
I have a house already. I have a
Yes,
child already.
which is
So
good
I
for
don't
you.
necessarily need my man to be more than a partner, to be more than a friend, to be more than someone that tends to me.
Right. See that? Well, that's I don't
Right?
have to deal with that.
And you're in the same boat, right? So I would say maybe a 20-something-year-old can do
Maybe.
it. You don't need her to come with a certain paycheck to the
Right.
table or.
Well, I didn't anyway.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You have different. You had.
True.
You know
A man
what I'm
has
saying?
different
Well, just me.
considerations.
Some people are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people are like that. I know dudes that are looking for a woman to take care of, and I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
That's cool, but so it's also just a different time now. It's so different than when I was coming up. I really had I love little elements of social media, but before I crossed over, I couldn't imagine people, like something as simple as taking a selfie. I was like, I don't want people to think that I want to take a picture of myself
I'm working on my
and
angles.
post it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not cool. Like, aren't you worried about? And that's what the times are changing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I was like, okay, I guess it tripped me out that people would assume that other people would want to see what their dessert looked like. People were taking pictures of
care.
their food. I was like, okay, I just gotta go with the times, because this is
Okay.
not what I think how
So
it should
the
be.
times now and dating now, you had a very public relationship where you had fun on social media with your partner.
Yes.
Is that something that's important to you, that someone can show up on camera with you, do some choreography?
No. That's me. It's important. That's the only way I'll stay on social media.
Okay.
Is if I have fun. That's how I made it work for me. It would be cool, but now because of that relationship, it's kind of changed what that means. You know what I mean?
Was it too public?
I don't know. Because I only use it for one side.
Okay.
For
You're
me
not
to
reading the
express.
comments,
Never.
you're not- okay.
Never.
That's a good thing.
For me, it is,
Yeah,
because I'm too
self-care.
sensitive. And it was fun. It's like I want to have fun. If anything is too difficult, if I'm struggling too much, if I'm overthinking, then for me that's a sign.
Yeah.
And it just makes it easier for me to move forward. So I don't want someone who is too concerned about social media.
True.
I don't want her. I want I want relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Relationships, career, spiritual journey. I would like for that to take priority over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
I think. You know what I mean?
In thinking about like my own journey towards divorce, people are always asking me, how do you seem so sane? You seem calm. You're laughing. You're posting the best of times on your IG page. I cried every day for 365 days.
Yeah.
Sobbed, boohoo tears. But I think that was essential to my healing.
Yeah.
That was like step one.
Yeah.
People think step one is therapy. Part of it, yes. People think step one is putting yourself back out there.
Yeah.
Part of it, maybe. For me, it wasn't. I literally need to sit and cry and cleanse and reflect and journal. What was that first year post-divorce like for you?
I was doing what I thought I was supposed to. So I was out there, strip clubs. A lot of strip clubs. Yeah.
Atlanta, Miami, LA is but
Just because that was what I knew, and it was easier than dating. Yeah, then I found someone who it seemed like miraculous. She was so pretty, and she had kids. And she was really, really funny, and wasn't an actress, but had a great personality. And
where did you meet her?
at a club.
Okay, so real life.
At a
not
real
social
life,
media.
yeah. Oh no, yeah, she wasn't. I didn't know. I met her, and we started hanging out. And she was like, "I'm here," and she sent a picture of herself like at the beach. And I said, "Oh my God, you look so good. Send as many pictures as you want." Like joking, like I want to see. And she sent me like,
She's like, that ain't no problem.
and it really concerned me because I didn't know, I wasn't on social media. I didn't know what a selfie was.
Yeah.
So I took it to my cousin. I said, "Yo, I met this girl, but she's obsessed with herself. How does she have all these pictures of herself? Should I be worried?" And he said, "No, that's what they're doing these days. Like it's called a selfie. Why does she want so many pictures of herself?"
Right.
No, they put it on Instagram, and I was learning. I learned. Yeah. So I was in that for 4 years. I was that was like the beginning of my learning.
Would you consider that to be a rebound, or were you ready to make that next step?
I mean, you're gonna hate this, but I feel like whatever you did was what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like a rebound. What is a rebound? Like how much time,
Yeah.
constitutes a rebound? Because I took a minute.
You took a minute. What's a minute?
Like a year maybe.
Okay, so I feel like that's a safe little
I
rebound
guess.
for me. Is a couple of weeks, a couple overlap in some
Oh,
instances.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean, because I'm definitely, as free
Yes.
and as woo as I consider myself. I still need some basic rules.
Yeah.
So I knew not to jump right into anything, but emotionally I wasn't really ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I could have waited emotionally a little bit longer, but I learned so much. I learned so much, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met a guy on IG, and it was very soon. And I remember going to my therapist. I'm like, I can't take these entertainment dudes anymore. Like, I love the flashy guy. I love the guy that gets the attention.
Oh, okay.
But I want him to be in the house with me because though outwardly I might appear like I love a good time, I also want to be barefoot, frying chicken and making potato salad, and us just like be low key. So I prayed and I was like, Lord, please give me someone that's not a DJ, a rapper, an actor, no offense.
No, I get it.
Or an entertainment executive.
Yeah.
And he was a professor. I said, what about like a professor or a dentist? I literally said that to my therapist. This professor starts following me.
Or dentist, you said?
Or a dentist. They seem pretty boring, low key, won't cheat. Inside, my teeth will be great. Multiple check marks.
Or a dentist.
So for me, professor, same bucket, like, teach me, daddy, or read me your latest
or
novel.
A dentist. Professor, I get.
One
No
way or
offense
the
to
other.
dentists.
What else are you into these days?
Someone who is aware of has a fashion sense. Someone who likes to dance.
Okay.
Someone with a really good sense of humor. Yeah, that's big.
Nice. Now, When you think about the domestic side of things, does she need to cook,
No,
clean?
doesn't need to. But I was able. My last girlfriend could cook really, and I'm not used to. I mean, I got love languages and whatnot. That wasn't a thing for me. You know, like I got my son 50% of the time, and he's cool and I'm cool. We just order all the
Yeah.
time. Every once in a while, we'll make pancakes or something. So that's never been a thing. I didn't grow up. When we ate growing up, it was so that we had
To
sustenance.
survive,
Yes.
right.
So I'm still just now learning to enjoy
Okay.
the taste of a meal. So I don't care somebody cooking for me. I just want somebody with me.
Yes.
If we're ordering in, let's order it together. But I've learned to appreciate it.
Yeah.
So if somebody does do that, if somebody does cook for me, now I make the connection of, oh, she's doing this for me. And if it's, that's great. But then if it tastes good as well, then I can really appreciate it. So
love that.
it's a plus. Definitely, it's a plus.
What
Yeah.
is your favorite type of date or the best date you've ever been on?
Oh man, it's tough because it has to do with the vibe. A combination of an event, where you can see how somebody holds themselves, and there's dancing, and maybe they're dressed up, and then maybe afterwards, where you're coming down, and you can really kind of vibe without everybody else in the room. Just a date where you can kind of see the different sides of someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah, I'm still figuring it out.
So you're also revisiting the Terry McMillan universe. Of course,
Yeah.
we all know you starred in How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your latest project, Forever with Megan
Well,
Good.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's I had an amazing time working on this. This is the second time I worked with Megan Good. She was on a TV series I did a ways back called Kevin Hill.
Okay.
I met her when she was like 12 because she had relatives in the business. I was working on this movie, House on Haunted Hill.
Okay, I remember
And
that.
my makeup, oh, you do? Oh, good for you. My makeup artist was somehow related to her, and she brought her on the set. And she was very mature for that age. And then as time progressed, I saw her in the business. She was a good little actress. And then I just seen her in passing, and then finally we got another chance to work with each other. And she is a joy. She's strong.
Yeah.
That's a strong actress. But it annoyed me a little bit because in the project we play two people that are mature. They find each other. She plays a cop with 3 daughters.
Okay.
And I'm single and have kind of this PTSD from the Army. I'm a baseball coach. We get together and we give it a shot. And it's this healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And then we're going through, our tribulations and whatnot. And it's a dramatic relationship film. And it was the first time since I had broken up with my last girlfriend that I had been exposed to. We're acting like we're in a healthy relationship. Yeah. So I had forgotten all of the good parts of being in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like hanging out in bed, watching TV together. And I was reminded from playing this character, oh, wait, a relationship can be cool.
Yes, yes.
So then it was like, so maybe I should put myself back out there dating. But it was a great experience to answer your question. But now it's got dating on my mind because it's like you don't know what you're missing until you kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Even if it's pretend. Yeah.
Well, you've already touched on a bit about how it reminded you about what
right.
fun love.
Yeah.
Because at the tail end, who you
all you can think about is
marry is not
stuff.
who you divorce.
Right.
Who you
right.
date
right.
is
right.
not who you break up
right.
with. Right.
Oh,
it's different.
Yes.
So how has that experience influenced your now approach to dating?
I'm just aware. I'm aware. More aware. And no matter what, because of my experiences, I'm forcing myself to take more time. Because it didn't occur, it's going to sound stupid, it didn't occur to me that a person can present themselves a certain way in early dating, and that it didn't occur to me.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
90-day period.
Oh my Lord,
The return policy.
crazy!
Kicks in.
I wouldn't like. I can't imagine like trying. I'm an actor, so
Yeah.
I make my money being other people.
Right.
When I'm not working, I don't want to act. I'm just me.
Yep.
But some of these girls would act like a different person.
To get you.
Yeah. So I'd be all excited. Oh, she does this, she does that, and that's perfect. And then all of a sudden it would be completely different. But it makes sense. So I'm just aware, and I pay less attention to the early dates, and I'm just looking at the if they're polite and clean, how they dance, shit like that. I feel like I have a good read on people now, so I'm definitely going on an energy thing and giving them time to kind of relax and be their true selves. Yeah, the difficulty right now is just the desire. Like when you're young, you have those butterflies and you're excited. There's a first date and then you can't wait for the second. And these days, because I've lived through so much, and like you said, I have a son, been married, been divorced, I'm working on myself.
Right.
And I feel just solid. I have to kind of force myself to, or do I want to go on a second? Not necessarily, but let's just try it. And I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
If I had that feeling before, I wouldn't go on the second date.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean? But, you gotta put yourself out there, I think. So that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. I read something on IG recently, and it said, go for someone that doesn't give you butterflies, but someone that calms your nervous system. Butterflies for me were the spice, were the fun guys, and it was the great times, but it was the highs.
Right.
When we needed to come down to earth,
Right.
the lows, they couldn't handle it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Interesting. It takes a while, though. You know what I mean?
It does.
It takes a while.
It does. But do
I
we
think.
have time to waste or to spare being busy adults, living, parenting?
You can. You have a kid. You want to have any more kids? Maybe, yeah. So time to me, every once in a while I have a tiny panic attack. But I got to take that out of the equation because it'll alter how I look at things, you know what I mean? So, and I do trust.
Yeah.
I trust that things will be cool. And, if I never find anyone for the rest of my life, I got my kid, I got my friends, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a luxury. You know what I mean? I don't have a clock.
Yeah.
It would be nice, though. It would be nice. I'm more of a relationship guy than not. Do you know what I mean?
So when you're looking at projects now, like Forever, do they have to resonate with your personal life for the best of you as an actor to come through?
I'll consider that. The best of me. Give me an example.
So
I'm going to give them the best actor no matter what.
Because that part. But there's a relatability now when you're looking at rom-coms after you've lived life.
Oh.
Do you feel like you're bringing your personal experiences a bit more than when you first were in your
absolutely.
youth, right?
But that happens naturally in my work anyway. I can't help but bring who I am at that moment. And there are times in the story of the movie coexists with whatever is happening in my life automatically. So I'm kind of learning from the movie and then vice versa. I focus on where it shoots now so I can be closer to my son.
Okay.
That matters.
Do you think that women that you are dating are expecting you to show up as Dre or any of the characters that we know and love you to be?
This is so silly. When I'm out in life, I think I have something wrong with me.
What is wrong with you?
I forget. I don't like. There's always somebody else that's like, yo, don't forget. She could be after you. And it doesn't occur to me. I forget that I do what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if we're going out to a restaurant and somebody recognizes me, I'm not thinking that my date knows I'm an actor.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I never think like that. If they are, I'm sorry for them.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Because that's why I don't read those comments, because I hear, from other people, comments on social media, that people, you can make a joke and then people will think you're serious,
Yes, all
or
the
they'll
time.
comment on your last episode, and but I'm surprised how many people have difficulty deciphering the two.
It's true. Well, would it then make it easier to date someone in the entertainment space because they are familiar with the separation between real life and play?
Maybe, you know,
Like
I don't
Raya,
know.
for example. Are you on Raya for your
Listen,
dating?
I'm so flighty. Like I feel like I'm very talented. I feel like I have a certain type of intellectual. I feel like I'm a smart dude in certain arenas. Technology. I tried to get on Raya
Okay.
by myself, so already I'm behind the ball.
Walker has to help you.
I was younger then, but I typed in Scott Diggs,
Okay.
but then I was like, wait, and did the whole thing with the password. But then I was like, wait, if it's Raya, you probably want people to know who you are.
Right.
And then I tried to log on as Tay Diggs, but then I had the passwords, and
Technical difficulty.
I was like, forget this. You know what I mean, but it was very easy to just leave it.
Yeah. I was on it. What I disliked was that it's so global. And so it's showing me a guy. I'm like, oh, he's fire. He's
But
in
he's in
Australia.
France.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, how realistic is that?
That's true.
Yeah. And it's
That's
an
true.
assumption that you have a particular price point,
Sure.
disposable income to make that connection happen. Right.
What a
But
downer. Ew.
that's us as grown folks. So you
Right.
as a younger man, what was your approach to dating?
I was in a relationship then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I grew up very insecure, kind of nerdy. So when I kind of grew into myself and I would never, put myself out there. If a relationship presented itself to me, it had to do with where I was and somebody approaching me. You know what I mean? My ex-wife, we met on Rent. And when she said she liked me, I was like, okay, cool, game over.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could get anybody else. So, and I was just so relieved that there was somebody out there that thought I was special. Then I started watching other actors that I was exposed to, working with, and how they were moving in their relationships and, the boundaries that they would set. And so then I was learning from them because these were actors that I grew up with. All the while thinking, okay, I would watch, this seemed to be working with this person. I would say, okay, then I'll do it that way. And I would follow that and not follow that rule.
Yep.
And not open myself up to just how was I feeling about something, you know what I mean?
So after healing, being older and wiser, where does the idea of spinning the block come into play? Is there any relationship you would now revisit with who you are now?
I mean, all of them,
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't get back. I want to apologize. You know what I mean? Because it's so I can see very obviously where I was wrong. You know what I mean? I wouldn't revisit any of them because the way they were still. I don't need that
Might have
now.
a change of heart too.
Okay, maybe. I mean, not change of heart. I don't need them to have a change of heart. But, I truly believe you go through something for a reason, and but I definitely know where I could have been better.
So being someone who has lived and experienced the outside, I know so often that people are asking you for dating advice for their own love and relationships. So we have a user-submitted question that we
Okay.
want to get your feedback on.
Okay.
All right. So I'm blind. I'm going to zoom in, Tay, and read this off about Melanie, who is 42, a recently divorced mother of 2, and she's an executive in advertising. She just left her husband after 15 years. The reason why is because he's been out of work for 5 years. So she has been the breadwinner. She's carried their family of 4 while he was a stay-at-home dad. Bills are piling up, and he couldn't or has refused to find his own employment. So after taking care of the bills, the kids, school, work, she started to feel like she was wearing the pants in the family. And so while she was away on a work trip, she had a little fun. She had an affair with a coworker. Husband left her, left the family. People are not speaking to them, speaking to her rather, from their mutual worlds. And so she feels misunderstood and pissed off because people only see one side of the coin, not what led to her making that choice. So, after men have financial success and affairs for years, we expect them to be forgiven. Why is it not the same for women, and what advice would you give?
Ooh, okay. Well, first I would say I'm sorry that she's going through that. It's tough. It is unfair. The old me would have said, well, you broke the rules. If you were unhappy and you wanted to step out, we should have had a discussion. Now I know that's just not how it happens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
There's always the right way, but the right way is never how it happens because it's not easy. And people don't realize that. Rules only go so far. There are rules, and then there are human beings.
Right.
You can't.
Life's not fair.
Nope. That's something people need to realize. It sucks, and just moving forward, try not to be down on yourself. Figure out, what you can do better.
Right.
Moving forward, what would have worked, and to just be honest. In your relationship. So obviously, I don't know how expressive she was with her husband. Like for me, in my next relationship, I want to discuss things like that. What do we do if we're feeling bored or if I'm not feeling as attracted, or do we want to decide to stay with each other and work through everything, or do we want to just take it day by day? And communicating is so, I know. Communicating is so important, whether it's comfortable or not.
That's true.
But she's just gonna have to take that one out. She has no choice.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. I don't want to talk about if it's fair. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't help. So I would say it's not fair.
Right.
Take your energy. I mean, feel bad, feel sad, but then get over it. And what are you gonna do next?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that happens, with black folks a lot. Complaining when the complaining isn't going to do any good.
That's true.
And just because you find 8 other people that agree with you, it's not going to solve the problem.
Right.
I mean, so figure out what you need to do to move on, and then take it from there. And try to be understanding of the other side. A lot of times if someone does something and they feel, even if there was some wrong to it, they will do whatever they need to do to feel better about themselves so they can move forward without taking into consideration, oh, okay, you're hurt too, so I get it.
Right.
I get it. Don't treat me a certain way, and I'm not what you say I am, but I get that you're upset.
That's true.
You know what I mean? See both sides. But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. People, they're human beings, and it's tough.
Does the point of when communication happens matter in how you receive it? So, for example, if you knew in advance that I felt inclined to step outside of the marriage versus me coming to you being transparent after I did it, does that change how you feel and receive?
Absolutely.
But both are honest, right?
No.
Why not?
You don't think you think it's...
I'm honestly telling you that I cheated on you.
Well, if you're going to be honest in the beginning.
I may not have known I was going to go down that path.
Do they want to continue the relationship or not?
Good question.
Because, you can be... Sometimes honesty isn't... As a communication, honesty is something different. Because sometimes honesty can mess you up. You know what I mean? Because there's honesty and then there's human being. Like, I couldn't take it. So if you want to be with me and you didn't know you were going to step out, something happens, you step out, you realize the errors of the way, and you want to stay with me, don't tell me, but now figure out what I need to do so that you don't do that again.
Would you say that is the case with most men versus for women, we are expected to welcome you back in after you've been honest and transparent about a discretion?
I feel like they're built differently. I feel like they are more forgiving, understanding. I feel like there's less of an ego when it comes to women.
Well, this was a heavy topic.
Yeah.
So we're going to transition into a game. But guess what the prize is? You get to sleep with me.
Oh, my God.
You get to take one of our pillows home to snuggle with. Yay.
Oh, my God.
Were you excited by
The way
that?
you said that, too.
I
You
said
it
I
like
had a
you get
crush
this ball
now.
cap.
Could get my holla on.
You needed to wait. You should have waited a little bit. And just let
But
me sit. You came too quickly with the pillow.
Oh, Lord. Well, you know
Oh, my God.
I'm
Okay.
learning. So we all need a co-pilot in life. We're talking about love and relationships. So today I'm so excited to use my Microsoft Surface 9 Pro integrated with Copilot, which is their AI engine.
Nice.
And so we have utilized Copilot today to come up with some rapid fire questions just for you. I asked if you were to interview Tay Diggs and have 2 minutes to ask him 5 questions, Copilot, what would those be? So the clock is ticking.
I got to come up with them?
No, I'm going to ask you the questions.
Okay.
But the prize is you getting to sleep with me, which you are so excited about. So the clock is on now. Myiea, are you counting down? No pressure?
Boom.
Boom. Everybody talks about love languages, but what is your language of anger?
Of anger?
Yes. How does that manifest when you are angry or frustrated when homegirl is short on a text with you? How do you react?
Oh, I'd like to discuss it. I'd like to discuss it. Yeah.
Okay.
Communication.
Pressure. That was like 30 seconds.
Yes.
All right. Which actress have you had the most chemistry with?
Ooh, Sanaa Lathan.
Ooh. If you could write the story of your life and really have to live it, which actress would play your wife from now to eternity?
Regina Hall.
Why?
Because I haven't worked with her yet.
Ah.
Like in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's funny.
She's
fine.
She's cool. Yeah.
What's the first thing that attracts you to a woman?
Looks.
Okay. What should they look like?
I like an open, pretty face and some curves.
Curves. Okay. Body, yaddy, yaddy. Real or fake body?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Matter.
How far would you or have you gone for love?
Oh, as far as you need to, as far as it takes it. If it's love.
For better or worse, sickness and in health?
I don't know what that means.
Ah, for richer, for poorer,
if they I mean, I've got to be specific.
2 minutes is up, but because I want you to sleep with me, you still win the prize.
That's funny. Okay. How many questions? Those aren't. You can't answer those questions rapid fire. Those are not rapid fire questions.
It required a little bit of thought.
If it takes more than 5 seconds to ask a question,
yes,
you can't expect me to answer rapid fire. Those are good questions.
Good, you did good. We can unpack them in the after show.
Okay.
That does not exist yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Red flags.
That's good.
What are you looking for as far as a red flag?
Oh, I mean, I'm not looking for them, but I'm aware anger and how people deal with themselves when they're angry, their temper, how they handle that.
And so my last question is, do you have any tips for maintaining a healthy balance between personal happiness but the relationship goals that you and your partner co-create together?
Oh, communication. Communication, yeah.
You outside, Tay.
I told myself
3 dates. I gotta
go
catch up.
all or nothing.
I love it.
And I had free time, and I was very impressed. What was it? And something random and very surface came up, and she felt one way, and I felt one way, and she immediately, instead of like sticking to her perspective, she opened it up and started talking about how, instead of the issue, it was about how we could relate to each other. And she was younger too, I was very impressed with that. And, because I can argue and I consider myself a good debater.
Yeah.
I was ready, and I had my debater shoes on. And then when she took it down and was like, all right, well, let's talk about, I completely kind of relaxed, and it wasn't about the issue anymore, because it was like, oh, the issue's going to be solved.
Right.
Let's get to how we're going to solve it.
Yeah, I love that.
And that was huge. That was like, so now I know that's real for me.
Yeah.
Someone that is like, all right, well, let's discuss this. It's not about, this is what I feel, this is what you feel, you're wrong, let me prove I'm right. It was like we were a team at figuring out just a different way to deal with the issue. Do you know what I mean? I remember that. I mean, that stayed with me.
Yeah. She sounds like a winner.
I mean, in that respect,
Yeah,
she was. You know what I mean? See, for me, now I gotta, reel it back and be like, it doesn't mean I need to marry her, but that's a great quality. You have this one quality that,
And that one will take us to the finish line.
And it won't, but
Cool.
But I was like, okay, good for you, and I need to remember that.
Well, I appreciate talking to someone who has had real grown man life experiences and you sharing and being open and transparent about that journey.
Thank you. It feels good to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, before we go,
Yes.
I want you to grab the pillow and say, I'm Tay Diggs, and these are my tales from the outside.
Hey, y'all, what's happening? I'm Tay Diggs, and these are my tales from the outside.